I'm doing my speech over why homeschooling is a bad idea for children. Have you ever thought about being homeschooled just because you hated school or hated being around other people? Because believe me, I have. But there are many reasons as to why you should not homeschool your children. Homeschooling has been around for many years. Although it has been successful for several families, it has a bit of a downfall on some of their abilities out in the real world. While they sit at home and do their studies taught by their parents, there are children in school interacting activities and participating with other people. Brian Ray stated that in 1997, 13% of homeschool students do not participate in activities outside of their family. While some homeschool students participate in activities such as ballet or a select league of sports, there are many who do not. For those who do, this allows them to have an equal amount of interaction with others that are not family, such as school students in public school. For those who do not participate in activities, this puts up a barrier for their social interaction. Not having a strong ability to interact with strangers or adults can be a real problem when trying to land a job or just function out in public. In this article, Homeschooling is a Bad Idea, it states that most people believe our brain is a clean empty space to be filled by mere contact by any material. This basically means we, as in our brain, absorb anything it is exposed to. But according to their point of view, this is completely wrong. We only absorb small portions of what we hear, and we also warp the information as we learn it, and we adapt to the new discoveries from our previous knowledge on the subject. Therefore, if we allow our children to begin homeschooling at an early age, such as preschool, they only focus on learning new things. They cannot process their own abilities on reaching for that extra information on how they learned it or where they learned it. Teaching children at too early of an age, instead of letting them play and discover new things, for example, they do not adapt to their feelings getting hurt by a classmate. This related to the real world is being shut down by a friend or not getting the job. This article, Homeschooling is a Bad Idea, mentions that children from ages 3 to 5 need contact with other children. This allows them to become social at such a young age, which is truly important for our society today. Homeschooling doesn't only detour you from having a social life, but it can also have an effect on who you are, such as religion. If you are homeschooled as a Christian, there is not much more that your family would probably want to teach you about other religions. In public school, religion isn't much talked about either, but we do learn in history about other cultures' religions. According to the article, Homeschool Kids, Now Grown, Blog Against the Past, in the 1980s, a Christian homeschooling movement went into action and was founded in 1983. This movement was created by a man named Michael Ferris, who dreamed of creating a generation that could battle with the corrupt secular world and reclaim the institutions of American life for Jesus. This man wanted to create a world of perfection by somewhat brainwashing students that Christianity was the only way. He wanted to create a world of no schools, where parents were afraid to send their children to public school. The Department of Education stated that in 2007, 1.5 million children were being homeschooled, and 83% of those parents said that they did it because they wanted to provide religious or moral instructions. An ex-homeschooler who graduated as homeschooled and went to college in New Mexico was very good at debate, so he traveled all over to teach other homeschoolers how to debate. He learned a few things while traveling from homeschool to homeschool. At one point in his traveling, he was exposed to a family that taught that men had the absolute authority over women and children. This is one of the things that made him really rethink everything that he was ever taught. When he went to graduate college, he realized that he really wasn't sure what he believed in. He still stayed in touch with many of the people he taught to debate, and later realized that they too suffer like him, with depression, anxiety attacks, and suicidal thoughts. In some states, homeschooling doesn't even have a set curriculum. This means parents can educate their child however they please. For example, you can educate your daughters for housewifery rather than provide them with normal education. A woman named Kirsten King was homeschooled by her parents, but they taught her that she was to be helpmeet for her mother until she was married, and then her job was to sexually satisfy her husband and bear as many children as he wanted. Miss King dreamed of going to college, but her parents saw no reason for her to go, for there is no reason for a woman to pursue degrees. This left King only able to read, write, and do simple math. How is she supposed to help her children with their homework if they have any questions? Overall, homeschooling ruined the plans King had for herself. Homeschooling has many positives, but I believe that no matter the positives, there are parents out there that will teach their children the way that they were taught. Leaving them with no education for their future, a life without education is useless. What do you have to give to the world if you don't understand half of what is going on? I believe that a curriculum should be set for every homeschool state. Homeschooling has been around for many years. You would think that a curriculum would be in every state. Homeschooling students are not taught to socialize, they are taught to learn. A social ability is how most people get jobs these days. A social ability is how a lot of people have. Not everyone goes to college or finishes high school. Therefore, they are left with only social skills. Have you ever thought of homeschooling your kids? Maybe this will change